Hello and welcome everyone, this is Blackadder at the RTS League channel for the second time today. Bit of a delay, but nonetheless we're gonna be starting with a match between deities of Death B, and they're gonna be playing with all-time best at this point. So, we're gonna be starting with the first home map of deities of Death. It's going to be Marsh, with Bonalex, Cheese and Indivision playing Loki, Odin and Isis. For the opponents, double Ra in the end set, so apparently they're going triple Eggy for a Marsh map, fairly interesting. But considering how it can actually spawn a bit close-ish, not really that entirely dissimilar to Watering Hole a bit, it's not entirely like a bad idea, and certainly could be something to go for. But yeah, of course, if the opponents are gonna be choosing to be really aggressive, like you can see, it's definitely quite nice great hunt, and I be leaving him with a lot of extra animals at this point. We could be expecting some kind of strong double from deities of Death, supported by 1TC faster heroic by the Eggy, and that might really completely and utterly delete one of the opponents from the map. And right now Indivision in the middle is already getting plenty of piggies for his cause here. Gonna be getting really plenty of them at this point, it seems. He has probably locked into a good position in there. He's gonna be getting also a few relics for Toxotai, Chariot, Archer, Throwing Axeman and Arca hit points, so basically anti-infantry right there. With the Girdle of Hippolyta, and all the way to the top, there's gonna be odd round for Cavalry and Chariot, Archer hit points for him. I'm definitely liking this kind of combination right now for Indivision. We don't have any kind of Oranos here, so we don't exactly see the TCs. If this is supposed to be the front TC for Indivision or maybe for Cheese. But overall, just this kind of combination of gold and TC is rather nice. As for the top, or to the left position here, it seems to me that since Indivision is in the pocket and he's gonna be having Bonalex with Cheese on the flanks here, well, should be not really a bad map at all. If he's gonna be right now Bonalex protecting this gold, for example, by a bit of a nice temple right about here, maybe a few houses as well, it's gonna be fairly safe as the tower is there, even though the second one not entirely too great. The first one is still reasonably alright. His front TC here, it seems to me, this is actually gonna be his front TC, though is not slightly, it's actually a lot tricky. At this point, as OZONE apparently doesn't want all those piggies, which might be even stolen by Bonalex in there, as this one is kind of similarly close and also far away from Bonalex and OZONE. So if OZONE is going to be playing it properly, if he's going to be playing it properly, if he's going to be having the chance for that, then maybe taking this TC could be significantly important for the whole game. Nonetheless, he's already going to be getting some relic. That's going to be for Villager Gold Get Rate for a Ra. Alright, that's definitely quite nice. That's going to be certainly helping him quite distinctly in the whole playthrough, and I'm really kind of curious how it's going to be played out. And his front TC is fairly close by, and of course look at the combination with the gold. He might be really tempted to go for that even with 2 TC faster heroic, and I'm really kind of curious what they're going to be doing. And this kind of spy is going to be probably allowed right about now, allowing him to be knowing at least, and just basically making sure that OZONE, or that the opposing team, deities of Death, are gonna be knowing what exactly the strategy is going to be based on the position of the Pharaoh and what he is going to be empowering. All the way to the bottom of the map, that's going to be right now in the pocket position, the second Ra. So I'm thinking that Rahakanariwa could be going for basically just straight booming, no questions asked really. Let's see, he needs a bit more protection from the piggies, didn't exactly do it correctly all that much, but yeah, well, the thought counts. In next games, he's probably going to be doing it slightly better, and as it should be done, but nonetheless, he's going to be probably allowed to be going for either 2 TC faster hero or just straight 3 TC. It doesn't really matter much what he's going to be attempting to do, but I would be thinking that he needs to be a bit faster at about 2 TCs because the flanks are probably going to be under slight attack. Doesn't have to be true for mrboat with the set here. He's having excellent TC that is really close by, I can see within one screen, and otherwise the front TC for Cheese is not really that bad either. Like, it's not far away, but otherwise they are kinda packed. And if he's gonna be wanting to go for 2 TC whatever himself, and maybe his opponents are gonna be a bit late to advance, as sets can be advancing reasonably quickly and be quite annoying with that, then maybe there's gonna be a bit of a chance for him, as he's finishing with the granary for a few more animals here as well. Or is it the misclick on a house? I think it should be granary for those 2 Oroks. The water buffaloes here. Gonna be really curious about that one. He's getting already 1 monument. Seems like so far it's going to be only 1. As the villagers are of course moving for the hunt, so yeah, definitely not any kind of mistake. It's the correct building that he exactly wanted in there. As infantry hack vulnerability decrease, armor of Achilles is coming for Rahakanariwa, and it's gonna be of course helpful, for example, in the defenses against the Norse players, especially if he's gonna be forced to do some Axemen against potential Ulfsaks from the Odin here, Mr. Cheese. All the way to the left, you're gonna be looking at the Force City as well, but this time it's from the Loki, and therefore for the Loki it's gonna be making a whole lot more sense, and for him it's gonna be resulting into all kinds of nice things, whereas the Freya on the right side is fairly standard. So far we don't know what he's gonna be coming for, you're gonna be having to wait for that. So Pygmalion statue for better village hit points, quite a great relic to be had for any player to protect against raiding, especially charge time for myth units, which could be nice, especially for the Loki. He's gonna be having plenty of piggies, for example. As Ptach, that's a lot of Ptach. Are they going for triple shifting sands? I think they are. Let's see, because they are right now having visions somewhere. I'm not exactly see where. I'm not entirely certain where they actually have the vision. I think they have the vision somewhere here on the opponent again. So shifting sands in, they're gonna right now come in exactly here into the middle onto all the hunters. So are they gonna be shifting, for example, also on the left side? I don't think they can really do that, because obviously they have only one set. If they had like triple set, then I can imagine some really brutal nonsense is through that. Now with the double rust, maybe they're just gonna be trying to steal a few units. I don't know. Maybe at this point, actually, with the shifting sands from the ally, he can be basically just moving all the army back. And potentially even with a few units of the enemy. I mean, like, I could be probably doing that. Maybe even jump on somebody else. Like, basically take all of those units and jump on somebody. How does it actually properly work on allies? I'm thinking that the allies should be having quite a good advantage out of it as well. All allied units, here you can see allied. So basically it's working the same on the allied unit, especially on the, or rather, according to the info it should. So you basically could be taking this and jump on, for example, those hunters, then take it and jump on those hunters. I think that's actually a valid strategy that could be going on with having 3 shifting sands, but they didn't decide to go for anything like that. Gonna right now fairly standard. Mr. Bow right about now coming home and also picking up relic for the free Pegasus Scout in the meantime. Yeah, well, just basically lone piggy just going next to the base here. Apparently one of the villages is gonna be at least destroyed, with the second one being quite close by. You can see this one with only 4 hit points in that and in there. As in the meantime, of course, this allowed the middle pocket player to go for the front TC, which is kind of nice for him. Gonna be letting him use this gold mine, potentially even this one. With Miguel, maybe even this one. So the 2 TC fast heroic for Rahakanariwa is gonna be definitely quite dangerous. All the way to the left, there's gonna be OZONE, not yet again prepared for the rain. That's definitely disadvantageous for him, especially as Ra. He could already be going for the farming and everything. He went for the second TC, but he advanced. No, but basically they all went through Ptach. So I think they could have gone a whole lot more hardcore on the team play and basically all prepared for the rain, for the farming. So therefore they could have been getting a lot of advantage from that. You can see that from the opposing team, it's gonna be pretty much the same. Nobody having any kind of farming land whatsoever. In the meantime, on the left side, it's gonna be indivision already scouting next to the front one with building LOS rally coming for cheese. It's quite a nice one. It's gonna be allowing him to see a lot more, especially looking at, for example, right on the frontal longhouse is there as he's advancing into fast heroic with Nior. 735, definitely not bad at all. And what else are we gonna be expecting from Dots? Well, Neftis is on the way. That's certainly not much of a surprise. And it's gonna be advancing about like 8:30. Maybe something earlier, a bit more in there. As he went for the front TC, yet again, as we talked about it, the condition of the gold being right nearby is certainly quite a bit of a help for him. As he's going to be casting the Prosperity in the front, right next to the Sphinx. Doesn't really matter where he's going to be casting it, as it's of course applying to all the mines all across the map. But there is a bit of an attempted trade-in by Bonalex to the bottom against Rahakanariwa, trying to put him out of the gold mine and maybe even slightly disrupt him once he's gonna be in the heroic cage, because that's already on the way. So Hathor ×2, also Rahakanariwa in division with the NFTs, as we have seen a bit before, Hendax and Shaft Mine and Pickaxe. So quite nice upgrades coming forward for the players all across the board, especially the Egyptians, obviously. Well, since it's like more than half the players, that's not entirely too descriptive as to what is exactly going on. But the Neft is in right about now, quite good monument to soldiers to protect from any kind of god powers right here. That's probably gonna be followed by about Migdol either there, or maybe if he's aggressive about here. Yeah, pretty much the same, doesn't really matter. This god is gonna be protected nonetheless. But he needs right now the monumental soldiers to protect potentially the gold mine against the locusts that might be coming forward. So right about now Mr. Boat is having a bit of a problem getting raided in here and also having to face the attack at the top side, which is definitely not a bad idea, as right now Ozone with the second rain is gonna be preventing all kinds of god powers all across the map for the next minute. But this is certainly quite a bit of a problem for Mr. Boat, as he's not entirely all that prepared, it seems like, for what his opponent is doing against him. That fast heroic on cheese, well, definitely not a shabby strategy right now. Already preparing at least a few rams there, so that he's gonna be well prepared to go, maybe even for the TC. So far very well done, as there is on the left side a bit of an attempt by OZONE to claim the front TC. He's not really going straight for it first, he needs to be getting the Migros so that he can be spamming at least a few units as there are in there. But nonetheless, it's gonna be giving him both the gold and also the town center, which is also not far away from this one. And so far Bonalex is not entirely having all that much of an army going, but he is also gonna be coming for the heroic age a bit faster, but only on one TC if I see it correctly. Yes. Exactly the case, as there's not really much grinding going to be coming from the yellow player. It's only going to be just a bit of a scouting, potentially for a few locusts. Yep, exactly. It's actually not a bad locust. I mean, like, it didn't kill that many, but killed about like 4. But plenty of them are already now destroyed. You can see even this one got by some kind of collateral, but all the way onto the right flank, it's gonna be now indivision heading forward with quite nice combination with cheese, and that is working really well, because right now with the ancestors it's gonna be really hard for the opponents to defend, especially since they cannot cast anything else themselves. And well, Mr. Boat is not in the next age yet. Is he on the way at least? No, he's not. So he's gonna be staying in this classical age for a whole lot longer than he potentially hoped for. You can see a bracket from Bonalex is of course quite a nice upgrade, but thing is that right now indivision with cheese need to be advancing really quickly, as even though if they could be putting Mr. Boat out of the game, it doesn't have to be securing the victory yet, because the other all-time best players, Rahakanariwa with OZONE, are gonna be real nasty Russ quite quickly, because they are already at 11 minutes, they haven't been really disrupted all that much, and there is even a front TC attempted to be taken by OZONE. So yeah, Bonalex is gonna be having probably a bit harder time right about now going. So ancestors are gone. Eclipse is gonna be gonna swell, but there's not gonna be all that much of a safety, because there's not any kind of god power that could be coming forward with the front TC already destroyed. And you can see that I'm still moving forward, so really good cooperation by deities of death, with a few shifting sands right now coming forward all the way to the top side, trying to disrupt the economy of Bonalex altogether. And yeah, well, maybe he should be right now a bit more concentrating on helping their teammate, but well, if they can be killing Bonalex, it's still gonna be resulting into basically a 2v2, so it doesn't have to be such a bad choice there altogether. In the meantime, of course, Red having quite enough army, as he has right now retreated with everything that he had, so maybe it's gonna be getting a bit challenging for OZONE, who is right about now losing pretty much everything. Oh no, losing. Just sending everything into right about now the rock. Very well played, as in the base of course of purple. Combined Havoc is getting wreaked. And being wreaked rather. And with the base completely getting destroyed, it's gonna be up to Mr. Bone to retreat somewhere into safety. And really, he needs to be getting some kind of assistance as soon as possible. And Rahakanariwa is doing exactly that already. And he's preparing for it. In the meantime, Cheese is trying to get the front TC here, so that he's gonna be at 2 finally, as the one to the backside, he is kinda camping there. So he does have a thought about it as well, but so far he seems to be only interested into the front, and it seems to me that Rahakanariwa won't be able to stop both of these players at once, with medium infantry, medium cavalry, and a few upgrades finally coming for Cheese. But yeah, well, maybe deities of that don't exactly feel like that they could be really destroying the opponent that quickly. And the TC is yet again coming up. It's gonna be just about now finished and getting at least a few farms here right nearby. All the way to the left, there's going to be a bit of an attempt with the heroic age, of course, in a bit before for Bonalex to produce a defensive hill fort, and also maybe allowing him to get a few Huskarls maybe into all of those chariot archers. Not a bad idea. Could be working, but he of course needs a few mythical spawns right about now, as he does seem to be having troubles with that. He does have at least a bit of population limit. But for the time being, he's going to be happy with the hill fort and with the towers to at least stem the tide and keep OZONE at bay for the time being. But of course, the longer this is going to be going, the better chance that OZONE is going to be able to completely steamroll him. On the other hand, we are quite early into the game, and having 4 TCs this early into the game doesn't have to be such a great thing altogether. He's right now going with auto queue from all 3. From 3 TC so far, so the 4th one is not auto queued, so that's at least that going for him. Otherwise, there's going to be a bit of raiding by Rahakanariwa, sending some chariot archers exactly to hunters who are just about now finishing. Yeah, well, they are probably going to be finishing good for good, and even with this life altogether. So very well done by Raha, and we're going to be right now potentially heading back into the battlefield to the bottom. There is a kind of forest fire going, killing a few villages together with the help of some kind of chariot archers who are already heavy. And of course the girdle of Hippolyta on top of that, with the better hit points on them, is certainly helping them even more. So very well done. It's gonna be right now continued massacre of villages if indivision is gonna be noticing, which is not entirely all that certain. Or rather, he seems to be actually more interested in the TC. Not such a bad choice, because he's probably still gonna be killing plenty of villages and units all around nonetheless. There we go, there's gonna be another casting of Locust all the way to the top side. Not killing all that many villages, as you can see. Only about like 1 or 2, but quite probably all those chariot archers are gonna be following through with all the rest. So very well done. Right about now with Rahakanariwa probably coming into his game at this point with 3 TCs already, and ancestors from Mr. Boat are already in. They're gonna be helping with the defense, and he definitely needs to be doing that. Maybe needed to do that a bit earlier, as he already suffered quite heavy losses all around. But nonetheless, the TC is gonna be finished. Right about now able to get at least a few other things in there. So apparently trees are gonna be right now walking, and they are walking real quick. They were actually just running downhill right next to the battlefield in there, and they definitely will be having a bit of a chance how to maybe even kill the TC, because they don't have such a shabby attack. But with the ancestors being still nearby, indivision right about now with the meteors already in, and it's gonna be actually cast onto the left side in here. And how many is he gonna be getting able? Is he gonna be able to get? Well, so far quite good hits into the army. That wasn't bad. You can see those towers, quite a nice sneak in by OZONE in there. But he is getting pummeled here. Not really that much dangerous, but still those few hits into the army are gonna be helpful. But what definitely needs to happen is right now indivision, exactly as he's having the Migdol in there, produce as many units as possible into the defense of Bonalex, as he doesn't have such a good game right about now going for him. So far well done by OZONE. You can see that all the way to the bottom. A bit of a fun stuff going on as he's trying to wall off the trade-in, but it seems like the mercenaries are gonna be a signal that both yellow and blue are well aware of what's going on in there. So all the way to the top, there's a bit of an attempt by Rahakanariwa to steal a front TC from Cheese, while he's trying to steal the one, and he has actually succeeded in stealing the one from Mr. Boat. But it seems to me that Mr. Boat is actually gonna be able to retake it a bit later, since right about now Rahakanariwa is doing quite a good job of keeping him safe. Well, those villages seem to be pretty much toast at this point from Cheese. They're not gonna be really saved all that much. But right now Rahakanariwa getting Horus, and therefore probably waiting for some good tornado. Not exactly here, because of the well-placed monument to soldiers in there. But maybe they could be at least getting rid of this base. I mean, like, the watchtower is nice, but probably you should be going a whole lot more for the monument. But so far that's not exactly the case, and therefore OZONE is having still kind of the way clear, especially if Rahakanariwa were to help him. But maybe that's not gonna be all that needed. You can see the whole baseline of upgrades with heavy chariots for the yellow player, as red is probably without upgrades. I would be expecting copper shields at least there, but otherwise nothing all that much going with the Radiant yet again continuing against Bonalex, and it's gonna be really costly and also quite hurtful right about now to red. All the way to the top, there's also gonna be a bit of raiding continued with indivision trying to defend against all the chariots, with his own upgrades being kinda only copper shields in there. With right about now blue heavy chariots and copper. So it seems to me that the good economy for the Turas is certainly paying off, and right about now they are becoming more and more dangerous. Great, of course, all the raidings still continuing all across the map. So Tornado is in. It's gonna be in the end into the base of Cheese, getting rid of everything. Even the elephant is gonna be having a bit of a flying day. Right now falling face first into the ground, with the TC getting destroyed and quite a bit of extra army on top of that as well. So TC down, therefore Cheese is gonna be to straight 0. But as right about now Rahakanariwa was hoping for this TC to be his for the time being, well, it seems like that indivision is having quite different ideas about that, and maybe he's gonna be able to really keep his opponent off that. But Rahakanariwa, seeing the situation, is gonna be right now producing a few towers to make up for the potentially missing population limit in there. So far Purple is doing what he can to come back into the game, but seems to be having at least a bit of a struggle so far with that. Okay, so this volume seems to be not finished exactly, doesn't seem to be all that disruptive. As blue could be probably sending the villages somewhere else, but at the same time they're gonna be at least a bit of a forward like scouting inside their bases, in case some kind of attempt like this was done again by deities of death. But that doesn't seem to be all that likely, as OZONE is so far doing quite a nice job pushing forward with all the units, with canalizations apparently getting research here against, well, whatever could be coming, like for example probably not elephants, but maybe some chemos. Against them they could be helpful, but otherwise the catapult maybe will be able to get rid of the Migdol. But otherwise it doesn't seem to me that it's gonna be really that much long-lasting effect. There's a bit of a raid in here, and also a bit of a fun attempt at actually some kind of wall in and a dock. So basically just this should be in water range. No, that's about it, but still, it would be worthwhile. And of course, it would be completely stopping the trade here, so it definitely is quite a correct idea. As on the right flank right about now, Cheese, after quite a solid beginning with Indivision, is right about now gonna be getting, well, the other side of the hand at this point to him. You can see the economical upgrades are slowly there, but absolutely no flow. That's of course a bit of an omission in there from Cheese, but nonetheless, right now Mr. Boat is finally gonna be retaking the front DC and getting a third one with the siege works there as well, with the Migdol, and finally at least a bit of military presence right about now for him after, well, a few minutes in the game. Nonetheless, this is gonna be right about now fight against, or rather between Indivision and Rahakanariwa, as Mr. Boat shouldn't be having all that much of a problem with Cheese. At this point, looking how the game is going, so far Indivision not having any kind of extra upgrades now, only the heavy elephants already in. As for the opponent, he's also having heavy elephants, but on top of that, he's basically full bronze, and that is quite dangerous with right now the DC falling, and it's gonna be right now Indivision at only 2, and the situation getting more and more dire as the time goes, as he needs to be helping on the left side, but at the same time, he also needs to be fighting in the middle, and this is looking like a tornado into the middle. Yep, there we go. And it's gonna be quite probably DC down, quite maybe even some hill fort and the big old damage. If it's gonna be coming the right way, which so far doesn't seem to be exactly the case, but still, the population limit being gone is gonna be resulting Bonalex into only 1, and therefore it should be a whole lot easier right now for OZONE with all 4 town centers right about now for him to get rid of that, especially since he does have the TC for the mercenaries so damn close by. So the whole copper line right about now ready for him on the right side. That was a bit of an attempt and is still by Cheese to retake the TC in here. Seems like it might be even successful if Indivision is gonna be helping properly, because Cheese does have at least a few units to get rid of that. But nonetheless, all the way into the middle, as Indivision is trying to desperately get the front TC, he is of course quite struggling, as his opponent is already having heavy, or the champion elephants and the irons are already on their way there. So Tax, champion chariots for Rahakanariwa, bronze, stonewall, spear on the horizon, everything going on at this point. So for the pause in here, a bit of a definite need for a cuff in there. But all the way here, it seems like that this is gonna be right now well controlled by all-time best. Yes, Mr. Boat's present right now, right beside Rahakanariwa. It's probably gonna be good enough for this. It's right now getting even flat control on that, it seems. And on top of that, even for example, Architects, which is gonna be given 260 hit points to all the farms in there. Yeah, flat control for Indivision here. It still seems like this ground is gonna be pretty much lost, whereas the one on the left side is certainly occupied by OZONE, and he is spreading like the plague right through the grounds of Bonalex, and it doesn't seem that Bonalex should be having all that much of a chance how to retake his base anytime soon, especially since Steel right about now doesn't have all that much of an opportunity to continue battling here, with the Migdol being gone and the catapults being the only thing that he can help with. And of course, since he has to be fighting in the middle as well, as he's right now gonna be seeing that, resigning. But at least right now, Cheese on the right flank has been able to get the front TC in there, but after quite a strong start by DTs of that, ATBs were able to stabilize, and the strength of the Egyptians on the left side and interior pocket definitely came through. But the start was really good. The combination of Indivision and Cheese to completely pretty much destroy Mr. Boat was very well done. Thing is that since they weren't able to control at least one of the Egyptians on the left side, then it just resulted into them getting overpowered by just basically well-boomed Egyptians in there. Especially on the left side, OZONE, well, that was real nasty what he did against Bonalex. And it was very well done in there. But quite a nice game, nonetheless. There was in the end also a bit of radiance still going on, or at least attempted. And we need to be checking right now into the post game, and then waiting for the second game to begin. The home map for all-time best. So, are we gonna be seeing something out of the ordinary here? Pretty much I don't expect so. Can see good echo for OZONE, but for Rahakanariwa even slightly, no, slightly, actually not more than slightly, but about 5,000 resources more. So better booming, not surprisingly, the pocket, bit of resources distributed, but it's of course going to be to OZONE, to Mr. Boat, and on the other team, Indivision, sending probably to Bonalex to just get him up, or maybe even to Cheese a bit later when he got completely destroyed there. Both options are gonna be basically the same viable I'm expecting. Can see good army by OZONE, plenty of mercenaries there though. With Indivision doing what he could have. But even that wasn't enough, even through the unit skill being at 184. the most in the whole game. That was a really good idea. The cheese and indivision, I kind of like that combination that they went for. Maybe they could have, the opposing team could have done some kind of fun with all of those shifting sands that you're talking about. They didn't exactly get to that. But otherwise, nice indeed. Nice indeed, indeed. Yeah, you can see basically right about now how he got completely destroyed. Not only on basically losing the TCs, but he basically lost the whole economy. He was down to about like 5 citizens or something. And from that, it's like really incredibly hard to come back in that kind of situation. Here you can see a Mr. Boat kind of suffered as well, really significantly, down to about like 20 villages from about 50. So that was a complete destruction. Oh no, that wasn't complete destruction, it was a half complete, obviously, but still quite significant. But yeah, well, the booming by OZONE and Rahakanariwa, and only one booming from indivision, obviously, in there from DoD. Yeah. He did what he could have, but it just wasn't going to be enough. The drops in the military in here, rather brutal from both Cheese and Mr. Boat here. And from OZONE, kind of not bad either here, but that was the investment, 2000 resources into the Mythic. It usually happens. GG.